Good morning, y'all. How's everybody doing? It is Tuesday, and I think it's going to be a good day. But we're going to start off with correcting some pieces of misinformation that y'all know they love to put out there time and time again. So let's go.
You're beautiful but unsatisfied since day one. You were getting teased and it scarred you when you were young. Now you're getting older and you've been on the grind. Your paper off the scale so you feel like it's time. So you got a nose job, that's the primary thing. People tease you as a kid and for some reason you hit. Always into high fashion, girl, you heavy like lead. Liposuction out your shell like a chicken and egg. Feeling confident but now you're becoming obsessed. First your nose, then your weight, now your butt and your breast. It's a vanity fair, cosmetic overdose. Fiending for a next operation like it was dope. Now you feel the need to skin pill, your skin's no good. But if those around you were real, they'll tell you the truth. Just because you spending thousands, that don't make it alright. Had one problem, now it's many going under the knife. Your lips, breasts, butt, legs, waist, hips, nose and chest, waistline, face lines, looking your best. Do it like the rest, Vanity Fair. I said your lips, breasts, butt, legs, waist, hips, nose and chest, waistline, face lines, looking your best. Do it like the rest, Vanity Fair. Come on. Vanity Fair, yeah. Changing one or two things, cool girl, do you? Do you wanna be beautiful and look like you? Or do you wanna look like someone you saw in a magazine or video, but not in the raw? I like nice shaped bodies, bikinis Brazilian, but too much of anything just isn't appealing. Some people spend a lifetime, even a million. No grace like those unhappy when chilling. A girl with a big butt, big lips, small hips is what we all love to see, and men dream about this. There is nothing wrong with getting something broken fixed. Some women get a breast job cause cancer assists. Some women want to please their man and insist. And a woman really loves you if she wants to do this. But abuse ain't the same as intention was cared. So be careful of the drug called the Vanity Fair. Vanity Fair. Your lips, breasts, butt, legs, waist, hips, nose and chest, waistline, face lines, looking your best. Do it like the rest, Vanity Fair. I said your lips, breasts, butt, legs, waist, hips, nose and chest, waistline, face lines, looking your best. Do it like the rest, Vanity Fair. Your lips, breasts, butt, legs, waist, hips, nose and chest, waistline, face lines, looking your best. Do it like the rest, Vanity Fair. I said your lips, breasts, butt, legs, waist, hips, nose and chest, waistline, face lines, look at your best. Do it like the rest, Vanity Fair. Come on.
Hey, y'all. Okay, let me go back over here. This is going to be not a super long one. There's just some pieces of misinformation that are floating around by, once again, the misinformation cronies that we need to address. So, yeah, I love who I got that post from, too. Good morning, everybody. Hold on, let me go back up here. I'm screwing around in my bathroom right now, so y'all are with me in here. I have clothes on, don't worry. For those weirdos that are trying to visualize. What is Becky doing? Give me 1 second. I pulled my lashes off in the middle of my sleep. So, got to re-put a few of them on. Okay, anyways. Two things at once. Give me 1 second. This one's going to fight me. But let's get into this. All right, so there was some things said the other night on Molly's channel that we're going to address flat out because I'm being blamed for things again that I didn't even say. Good morning, Pugs, Tina, Sweet Peach, Tallulah, Nunya, Bunny, LG, Amanda, Revival, Amethyst, Scorpio, You guys were chatting away. BB, Mama, Marcy, Janine, Cherie, good morning. Quiet Storm, Cool Gamer, OG AOL, Bernie, Katessa, Val, Rebecca, Lee, Cassie, Nada, Trauma Punks, Lee again. Did I miss somebody? Mama Cat, was that Justice? Felony Melanie, Creative Witch, Spider Woman, Allison, Alison, Detective Juan. Yeah, I'm seeing that, Shuri. Bazinga, Karen, Stephanie, Chicky Chick, Curious, Just Jake, Tina, the Phoenix, Bethel's Psychiatrist, Rachel, Dragonfly. Hello, everybody. Okay. Did I sound like Mrs. Doubtfire right there? Okay, hold on. I'm going to pull this video up right quick. Give me a second. I'll turn my camera on in a minute too. But I want to. Oh, by the way, Everything Go Lightly did another video this morning, and it's amazing. It's funny as hell. It was the best way to start my morning off. So if you haven't watched that yet, make sure you go over and watch that because it's hysterical. So I wanted to bring up, there was some stuff talked about, let's see, when Vada and it was 2 nights ago, I think now, when Vada blah, blah, blah sucks went on panel with Molly and Justin. Okay, there we go. Are you guys still there? Everybody's still okay? My computer just went punk for a minute. All right. But give me 1 second. Okay, there's that. You guys will need that. You're going to need this for a minute. Sorry, you know, all the buttons have to go. Okay. So I'm going to take it a step back. I went back. I was actually, what I was doing was I was transferring documents from one spot to another. And I came across some things that I was like, oh, well, these are answers to their questions. So I decided, what the hell? We might as well go over them because these people seem to have, you know, all the answers to all these questions. They've watched all of it. They know, they just have it all figured out. You know, it's this big, huge scam, but yet they're blatantly lying of things that came out of other people's mouths and not even me. So we're going to go through and show you guys that. But definitely go over and check out the most recent video from Everything Go Lightly because it's hysterical and it'll give you a good laugh. That's the hard part, is a lot of this stuff gets really heavy after a while, but it's about time that some of these people get called out on their BS. Like
blah, blah, blah sucks.
My buttons. She has a problem with my buttons, so I added a special button just for her, so she can go cry in a corner somewhere else because I don't really care. And by the way, blah, blah, blah sucks. I don't need your advice on how to make my channel successful. I'm sorry, but someone just pointed out that you must be having a hard time because you've been at this for years. And I just bypassed your numbers. I don't pay attention to numbers, but I know that's something you are really bothered by. And I'm sorry. Again, maybe you should take some advice that you're giving and be a little bit more entertaining, be a little bit more enthusiastic with your comments. But I know, not my business. I don't care. I wish you great success, even though you don't wish me great success. But hey, that's the difference between me and you. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you talk about, except for the lies. So let's address the lies that you guys tell. This is a recording that I think has been removed. It might be still on Justin's channel. If it is, it's from July, but here we go. Let me get you guys the screen. This is back July 8th.
How she's doing me.
This is the second conversation publicly that they had with Letitia, to my remembrance. And well, it could have been more than two that they were talking to or behind the scenes, but publicly she had came on, or Molly had read a text supposedly from Letitia by this point and thanked her for getting involved after Gigi had connected Molly and Letitia. That is supposedly how it went. Well, they did a show on Molly's panel, which I've got clips of too, and we'll get into those. But then they moved it over to Justin's channel. So this is from Spanky's channel. Again, all follows under fair use and content that they probably, again, he has videos up still, so he might still have his. Molly's been removing stuff. All right, let's go.
And my family, especially me. Where are you? Because you want to know something? If she needs to get out there, we'll get her out there.
I think, she's out there right now.
Are you sure?
Yes, because
All right.
she was, yes.
She's in Savannah. She's in Savannah.
Just a quick reminder, pay attention to what they're saying time frame wise. So you hear them say that she's in Savannah, but Justin's saying that she was out in Arizona visiting. Remember, this was the beginning of July, and there was a lot of conversation about supposedly she was in Arizona, but there was no proof whatsoever besides her statements that never added up to the admins and Molly and those guys. So pay attention to dates and details here, because you're going to catch some things.
She's not in Savannah right now.
She said she's in Savannah.
Well, did she go back home?
Yeah, I just asked. Look.
Okay, don't dox her.
No, I'm not. It's not doxing.
Okay, I just
Yeah,
didn't know
you could put me on full screen.
her phone number's not pulled up there.
No.
Okay.
Wednesday. She said Wednesday is when she got home. She's still typing. She's been home for 2 days. Her Cash App is $sign Mrs. MRS L Bias.
Spell that.
Okay, she said, I came back after being there for 3.5 days.
$sign.
What'd you do while you were there in those 3.5 days, Letitia? How did you get there? Who was with you? I have questions. Did you happen to see Marvon? I'm just wondering. Because this was right at the beginning, July 8th. They had only been touching the story for 2 days at this point in time. Really interesting movements here.
MRS
L Bias.
B.
And no, the weird noises are not coming from me. Once again, they're coming from them.
Here, I'm gonna show it. All right, here you go.
Spell
This is, and this is the only one, you guys. This is the only one. That's the official one.
Spell it so I can type it in the chat.
All right. $sign MRS L as in Lauderdale.
LB.
Beta. I Indigo. A Alpha. S Sierra.
Okay.
Yeah, we can get his mom out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 days after Vaughn's incident. This is her. After 5 days.
Is Letitia in here in the side chat? Is Letitia in the side chat? You want me to
Uh,
call her? Want me to call her? I'll call her right
Please.
now.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Call Letitia.
Just to confirm, you'd like to call Letitia Bias.
Yes.
Calling Letitia Bias.
Here, put us on
Marissa?
full screen.
Yeah, of course. How do I pin something in the top?
Hi,
chat?
Letitia. This is Molly Golightly. Marissa, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
We, well, I want you to know first and foremost that we are praying for you. Me and Justin are live right now, and we're trying to gather some money.
Okay, details are important, friends. So you heard them say that she had just came back from that. Now they're claiming that she needs to go back again. They're going to be able to get her back there again. Pay close attention to Letitia's own words. By the way, you over here, my friend.
Blah, blah, blah sucks.
You're about to find out some information because you sat there and said, I only heard that from Mrs. Doubtfire. Well, listen up.
I need for you to go back out there.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry. Excuse my voice. I just, this has been a trying couple of weeks. So I'm kind of, in and out of crying. And every time I see a new update, like I just got a text message a few minutes ago that they done moved him again. I don't know what to do.
What?
Oh God.
They just moved him again, huh? July 8th. He was just moved again, huh? You just got that text message on July 8th that he was moved. Well, interestingly enough, we know now that he was never moved. Except from the VA to the specialty care home. And that's what you were talking about. But he was moved at the end of June from the VA. And you knew that, didn't you? You don't want to talk about that, though, do you? I mean, I wouldn't either.
I'm sorry, but I don't know what to do. Oh my God, they keep moving my baby. Every time I try to get close, she do something else. I don't know what to do. I'm trying to get money for the lawyer. I'm trying to do it the legal way. I've been up there for 3.5 days, going back and forth to the hospital. These people turning me around. I just want to see them. That's it. I'm not asking for no information. I'm not asking for anything personal. But, I mean, I got a text message yesterday stating that I can. I responded back. The next thing you know, you tell me I got to go public with all of this stuff. When you did this to me, I didn't do this to you.
She better let her in today. She better let her in, or I'm coming out there.
I've actually called her and I left her. She sent me the voicemail, but I did leave her a message and I said, not for nothing. I said, but we're trying to help you. But this has gone a little too far. And I think that if you really kind of want this to stop, because this is going to get bigger, you need to let his parents and his stepmother see him. And I have to say, Letitia, this is not looking good. I mean, I hate to say it, but this is not looking good. And Dre is looking very, very bad right now.
And it's been like that since.
Remember the comments about how supposedly we're talking and we're attacking Letitia because she was a young mom and all of this stuff, and we're supposed to give her grace, even though we've said time and time again, we all think that, adoption's a beautiful thing and what she did was amazing. However, that does not condone or overshadow the piece of shit that she tried and decided to become when she continued to lie about this situation of her son. That overshadows it. Adoption's a beautiful thing, but that doesn't mean that it overshadows and you get to do stuff like this. So you got to pick and choose. But you yourself, Letitia, have a lot to say about Dre and her past, but let you say it instead of me. Let's let you speak, because everybody seems to forget the things that you have said.
It's the beginning, because Only thing that I said to my son when I first met her, she wouldn't even come in the house. She finally came in the house and we were introduced. And I talked to her for a minute. And then I took my son outside. And, you know, I had a mother-son talk with him. And the only thing I said, you know, was I was a little concerned, you know, about her background as far as like being married before, already having 2 children. And you know, he was young. He was only 21. He just graduated Marine Corps. He was excited. You know, I'm like, okay.
Wow, interesting. She just said he had just graduated the Marine Corps. Oh, interesting. So he was already in Arizona. Once again, they've tried to tell you that Dre forced Marvon to move to Arizona basically because she's so controlling and yada, yada, yada. That's been Spanky and those guys that have been saying that. Well, Letitia herself just told you that Marvon was already in the Marine Corps and had just graduated. He was already there. Him and Dre met when he was in the Marines. Like, they've twisted and turned so many things, but then they don't want to pay attention. But interesting how she was concerned about Dre's past, but nobody else should be addressing or talking about hers.
And he was like, Mama, you know, this one I'm going to be with. So, you know, I said, okay. And I left it like that. But those few words that I spoke to my son drew a wedge. And it's been like that for years now. I never met my grandson. I mean, when they came to Savannah that time, anybody that know me know I'm a workaholic. So I was at work. Before I could get out to make it there, they were gone. So I hadn't even met my grandson, hold them, touch them, anything. So now.
Why did you tell everybody that you'd never met him? Was that just an emotional ploy to try and make Dre look worse, that she'd kept you away from your grandson, when in reality, Dre said the other night that you had met him? Might have been only once, but I think there's even maybe photos of this event. So why did you do that? Why did you say you never met him? If you had, even if it was just one time, there was no reason to lie about that, is there? Except if you're wanting sympathy, like, oh, she's the bad person, kept these people away from me. I guess if that's the narrative you're trying to paint, it would make sense. But otherwise, that doesn't really make sense, does it? There. Nope, it sure doesn't.
Only now I'm dealing with my son. I'm worried about seeing videos of him. You know, it's a lot. It really is a lot.
Yeah.
But the only thing I want to do is just see him. If they can let me in there for 10 minutes just to be able to hold my son's hand and kiss him, that's all I want to do. That's it. And to tell my baby that I love him. That's it. And
well, that's been accomplished.
I would be able to find peace inside myself, knowing, but I can't give up on the part of that, not really knowing what happened to him. Because if you knew my son, the way we knew my son, it's just not his character to go outside and do something like that. I would prefer they said, you know, I don't even know if I can say this on camera.
Unfortunately, you're right there. And again, nothing to do with anybody, but just life in general. But obviously, you do not have a clue of what your son was going through. And it's obvious. But you'll continue to say that because you're saying here that, you know, if you knew my son like we know him, well, obviously you really didn't know him because, well, let's let you talk about how you tried to connect with him and he didn't. You didn't. This relationship just isn't it like you try to paint it out to be.
That he did it another way.
Right.
But oh my God, it just hurt. It really do hurt. And I've tried. She says she have always had open communication with me. That is not true. We call it. I wish that there was a way to pull T-Mobiles phone records with my son's phone number, and you will see the amount of texts and calls that me and my family and my kids, his siblings, my husband, his father wife, that we all have tried to reach out to Doughboy, because we call him Doughboy, and to reach out to him, and it was always a non-response. So to get that last
Always a non-response. Sorry, I'm in the kitchen. Always a non-response, but they know so much, right?
hour conversation with my baby, it was, oh my God, it was like heaven on earth. It was heaven on earth. And then he tried to bring up certain things. And you know what I told my son on that phone? And I may be talking a little too much, but I just want to tell you this. The only thing that I said to him is that nothing in the past matters. What matters most is us staying in contact from this point on, me meeting my grandchildren. I did not say grandson. I said grandchildren. Even putting the differences aside with Drea, so that I could be close to my son. Those were the words. That's what we talked about. And then we started talking about, he's talked about his lifestyle change on how he was eating. I told him that now that I do a lot of organic stuff. It was just a good conversation. A couple of days later, I get a text message, Mom, I'm thinking about you. Send me a boatload of pictures of them. Oh my goodness, phone flooded with pictures.
If you have a phone flooded with pictures, why did people edit Dre out of photos and crop you into photos? If you have so many photos and all this, plus AKA, it's super easy to get phone records from T-Mobile. I mean, you could have done that easily and shown, how great all of that is. Again, nobody cares, but you used it as a manipulation and lied to people over this relationship that he talked about. And again, she's even telling everybody right here that Marvon was excited about the lifestyle changes and the diet that he was on. He had that conversation with her. So now they've been continuing to twist it that, this horrible diet, all of this stuff. Well, it's interesting that he was talking about it with Letitia, and she seemed, she was making changes too that were great, right? So why is it such a problem now? Interesting.
I was so happy. Then I called and text. No response again. I was like, I told my daughter, I was like, oh my God, he's going cold again. And she was like, no, Mama, something wrong. Next thing you know, Saturday morning, I wake up, my cousin called me and said, do you know that Doughboy in the hospital? And I was like, well, he must, I know that he was starting. No, she said, do you know he's sick? And I said, no. I know last time I talked to him, he was doing fine. So she sent me a video record because I've always been blocked on her social media site. So that's another reason why I couldn't really keep up with them.
Y'all caught what she just said there, right? That she's always been blocked on her social media sites. Well, let's see about that. I don't know. Again, I'm not really sure. Let me grab this right quick. Hold on. Pause. She made a post. I got to grab it. She made a post saying, oh, we're all blocked now, like on the 13th of July. Why'd she make that if they were already blocked? I'm just curious. I'll pull it out.
And it was a video of my son being in a coma. And I'm like, what? So I looked, and it was like 8 hours from the video being posted. So I got her number. I reached out to her. The next day, I get a text, stating, I text her the next day. I called her, then I text her the next day. Then finally, she, said she'll call me when she leaves the hospital. And a conversation happened between us. I thought it was good. I got another text 4 a.m. stating that she thought it was in the best interest that I didn't call. and it's been downward spiral ever since. But this has been a mess.
So wait, when did she get the text message that she could see him and things were going well? Was that happening when she was there? Was she able to see him when she was there? The first time? Did she go the first time? I have so many questions. What about you guys? Amethyst, very good point to make too. They've been claiming he didn't have access to a phone. He didn't have a phone. So why were they claiming that, they were communicating all this stuff, he was texting, sending pictures, all sorts of stuff, but he didn't have access to a phone? Good point. I'm just curious. There's a lot of questions here that don't make sense, but we're not done with this one because there's a lot more to be said. Hey.
Blah, blah, blah sucks.
Are you listening? Pay attention. This is especially for you and your little invader.
It has been a mess.
Wow.
All because I want to be there. I have not did anything to her. Nothing. Not to be able, to say no, that I can't see him, not knowing if it's my last time or not.
Yeah. I even said to her, I said, Trey, not
post that I posted. What did I say bad about her?
No.
Only thing I said was I want to see my son. That's it.
And
I didn't say anything bad about her. I didn't say anything bad about my grand. I just wanted to see. I just said I wanted to see him. So yes, I got a little upset when you wouldn't tell me what was wrong with my son, and then I get this email with this information in it, and you knew all along.
Are you alone right now?
I'm sitting in my car.
You're in your car?
Yeah, because I pulled up in front of it. Sometimes I get to the point where I sit in front of the house and just pray, because I don't want to take the energy that I have inside the house, so I leave it in the car.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
I try to leave it in the car and just keep a clear head when I go in my house. And, I pray in my car, I do a lot of stuff in my car, but I sit in here and I just think about what can I do, next. It's hard when you way in another state. I'm not rich, so I work hard. I take care I look out for my kids, I look out for my grandkids, and it's like, you just want to be a good mother and grandmother and wife. You're not trying to hurt anyone. I'm not doing that. My past has been brought up when I was 14 and 16. Yes, everybody has made mistakes in their life. I didn't just throw my son away. For all of that, then all of my kids would have been gone.
Right.
It's a whole story to that, but nobody believes my part on that part.
Because she's already painted a picture. And we've only known about this for about 48 hours. And when she started to call you the egg donor, that was pretty vicious. Yes, it's vicious. It's a vicious attack. It's a very vicious attack. So,
regardless of whether there's something, in the family, there's a disagreement or not, in these times you come together. This is when you come together.
That's what funerals and weddings and birthday parties are for. You take those times and you mend family. If someone passed away, I know in Savannah, you can be mad with somebody 100 years, but if they pass away, you show up.
Thank you, Susan.
This always stood out to me, and I've always had a hard time with this from the moment one, and this was a really big red flag to me. She's talking about him like he passed away. She's talking about Marvon like he had passed away, and it's just their right to go. But they had just, according to what she said, returned from there. Dre, everything was going okay. And then here we go. So this is all just a bunch of BS, it seems like. A lot of emotional manipulation.
Your respect, or if it's someone's birthday, or if it's, that's, I don't know if that's just Savannah, or Georgia, but we can be mad with somebody 20 years, but let something happen to them. We're running there to see if they're okay. I don't get that. I don't understand that. That's not a reason to say, oh, you hadn't talked to him for 6 years, so why show up now? Because he needs me more now than he did when he was able to take care of himself.
That's right. That's right.
But I thought he had been struggling. I thought he had been reconnecting and struggling, and you knew how bad things were for him medically because you kept in such great contact. You knew what was going on, right? Or didn't you? Or he didn't return calls. But now is the most important time for you to show up and take care of him. Okay, gotcha.
He's not able now.
You need to put your arms around your son, and she needs to allow that. That's the least.
And I was told that I'm toxic. Okay, if I'm toxic, then why nobody else is from around me? It's like
just a quick side note here that I want to point out right quick. So this is from June 27th. It was in the Exposing Dre McCray group. As you can see, Letitia Bias, it's backwards on your screen. I'll read it to you guys. It says, well, I see why she's so happy on videos today. I called to report about the spit video, and she had my baby moved to another hospital. And the only thing they could tell me is it's a long-term hospital. I get one step ahead. She pull a move. Lord, please help me. That was June 27th, which is around the time that we know from everything that went on that he actually was moved from the VA to a long-term care facility. But at the beginning of this, July 8th, we just heard her say that they moved him again. She got a text message that they moved him again, which we know is not true. Once he moved from the VA, he was to the long-term facility. And then later on, yes, he did go. But that none of that time frame in the beginning makes sense, does it? Interesting pieces.
everybody in my family loves me. And they know that if anything, they mad because I never show up tonight because I'm always at work. But that's it. I'm not a toxic person. I'm not hateful. I don't do any of that.
You're a mother.
That's not good in God's eye.
You're a mother, and you have a son, and you deserve to wrap your arms around him and tell him you love him one more time.
I mean, I can't eat. I barely sleep. I'm barely going to work, because I can't focus, because I'm like, how can I even do these things like something normal, a normal day, not knowing if my son won't even open his eyes again? It's hard.
That's interesting. What about your post on July 25th? When you posted a picture of him as a child and you said, how can she say, oh, I'm so in love with Marvon, or Vonnie, as most people call him, but hate the ones who brought him in this world? Just a thought. It's interesting how you can say that you're doing this all for Marvon and Marvon's benefit, but you fail to realize what you're doing to Dre in the course of this and your grandkids. But I guess we're supposed to see it from your perspective, and that's it.
Hard. I apologize for,
Don't
apologize.
but it's just, you caught me right at the time I was trying to release in the car, so I was already crying when you called. So I apologize about that.
Just remember, the Lord Jesus Christ loves it when you pray out loud. Remember that.
Yes.
Don't
Oh, don't even get me started with this one today because all I hear again, you know what's coming, is
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
every time she talks.
Be ashamed. Pray out loud.
He's answering. I've seen some miracles happen in these past couple of days, so he's answering. And I just want to say thank you and for just.
I found the one I was looking for. So on June 13th, you heard her tell them that she'd always been blocked on Joy's page. Well, on June 13th, she says, well, she blocked all of us, and this is really sad. We had to find out about my baby being on life support through social media. And now that my family is speaking out about it, we all get blocked. God is in control, and you are very evil. But as my name is Letitia, I'm coming to Arizona. I'm going to see my baby. Facebook fam, please keep Marvon Doughboy in your prayers. Please, I'm begging, make sure when you get married, man or woman, that they always know if you have living parents, that in a time like this, they know what's going on with their child and not through social media. You can see Gigi shared it into the group, but it was originally by Letitia, and she tagged all of the family members in it. When was she blocked? Was she blocked all along? Was she just blocked on the 13th? Was the 13th post of June just manipulation? I'm just curious.
Stepping in because you don't know me from Adam, and you guys are trying to help me see my son, and you're also worried about my grands, and you're worried about my son. What more can I ask for? And I feel bad because I really wish that we could come to just some type of medium where, she could say, well, I don't want to be in the area when they come, but they can come. That's all we want.
Kind of like the agreement that was made for you to be able to see him, that was already done. You have all already been there and seen him already. So, okay. Anyways, we're going to keep going, y'all. I've got 3 that we're going to play this morning that are just complete BS, and you're going to be mind blown by the end of this. But pay close attention here because they also clear up something else. K-Dub, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let me find you. I'm going to do this one because this is what I'm feeling.
All the bad bitches work. He like when I right there.
There we go. Okay. Thank you again. Hey, everybody popping in. I see y'all. Where is the money? That's what we want to know. Where's the money?
And are you in touch with Dre's father and stepmother?
I don't know him.
Oh, you just don't know them or her? Okay.
No, I don't know him. I never was introduced. And the only thing I know is that my son, it hurted me one day when I saw a post about this is how a real mom is supposed to treat their kids. And my son was calling her mom, and I'm being called an egg donor. That hurt it. But I forgive and I forget because I say, you know not what you do. You can't get mad with somebody that may not know what they're doing.
Right.
So I let it go. But I never met any her parents, and we got a grandson. We share a grandson with each other, and I don't even know that woman's name. I don't know her father or her stepfather's name. But she know everything.
She doesn't know Dre's father or mother's name, but they were so close. He included them, kept them up to date. They knew everybody getting it.
Thing about us, because they let you know my son talk about us. She know everything about us, and when she came, even though I was at work after she had the baby, they treated her with love and open arms. You know, it wasn't like we don't like her and this, that, and the other. It was never like that. Never. And my grandmother, that's my grandmother.
Hey, yo, airhead over there that can't figure anything out.
Blah, blah, blah sucks.
This is specifically for you and your little misinformation cronies, because you guys sat there and said that I was the one that you heard this from. Well, honey dear, here you go. Here you go. Here's the information that everybody was talking about with the grandmother and the dementia. Okay. I didn't make that up out of nowhere, but they seem to like to say that.
Who she keep talking about. My grandmother has dementia.
Oh.
I talked to my grandmother on the phone. We would never. That's that's my mother's mother.
Did you hear that, EKC? Did you hear that? She's got dementia is what Letitia claimed. Let's go into another one. That's just one that I wanted to point out. So that was from July 8th. All right. Let's go to this one now. Hold on. Let me make sure that it's up on your screen over here. Okay, now we're switching gears to a short one from July 12th. This is from Molly Golightly's channel. I think this video has been removed. We've got one more after this, and it's the 15th, but I'm just giving you a few little tidbits here of how this kind of all actually did unfold. This specific part talks about Katie Joy and Molly and her falling out, but there's a big piece that Justin mentions about an attorney in here. Just pay close attention.
I'm a real reporter. Number 10, anyone with information that can help the family with the above videos. You're the one with all the videos, sweetie. Please send them to me via Messenger. I will forward them directly to the people in need. Who would that be? Who's the people in need? 11, all family members that were in need of lawyers have now retained lawyers and are moving forward with the legal proceedings. Please allow this to play out in the court versus bombarding CPS or the hospitals. You're a little too late, sweetheart.
I went back yesterday because, again, I wasn't 100% clear on the involvement there, but there was a post from Without a Crystal Ball that listed multiple different, I think there was 12 or something different steps that she was talking about, lawyers, all of that stuff. That's what Molly's reading. That post is posted in or on my Facebook. That is where she also talks about the CPS and asking people. So my understanding is her source or whoever she was working with had asked her to tell her following or something to stop bombarding CPS. Again, I didn't connect with any of those pieces. I didn't talk to the bio father. None of that stuff. So this is all interesting to me, the little shuffle, but it's clear as day that they were all in tandem together, working together. And then things happened right at this point.
Done past that. If you have questions, please let me know. I am doing what I can to help facilitate in any way that I can. You want to know something? I'm subbing you, and I don't ever want to hear your freaking name again. I don't want any. I'm sorry that I went on your channel, and I'm sorry that I sent all these people. Without a crystal ball, you really are exactly what people have said that you are. You're going to sit there and try and make me look like a liar after I had Hershey police in my house looking like a lowlife? How dare you? How dare you? You don't like it. You don't like it that Letitia has put a little bit of trust in two complete strangers, us. We're trying to help her. How dare you try and make it as if me and Justin are putting out false information after you?
Marissa, I don't think this is from Without a Crystal Ball, because
It is. It was just on her face. It was on her Facebook.
It was on her Facebook?
Yes. I was just looking at it.
Okay.
You know what? Lose my number. Don't talk to me ever. Don't even bring up my name, okay? Don't ever bring up my name. What you have done and what you're trying to do is very, very sneaky, underhanded. It's very shady. And you want to know something? You want to know something? I said it to Drea. I'm going to say it to you. Marvon deserves better. You want to know something without a crystal ball? You get an F.
If she gets an F, you're not even on the board. Let's put that out there and make it clear. Because yes, she absolutely fucked up. But at least she stopped. You never stopped. Not at all. And you continue on. You're doing this exact same thing right now. I can get behind you and say that, yeah, she did a lot of shady shit in the beginning of this. But guess who she was working hand in hand with? You, Spanky. Guess who she was sharing information with? You, Spanky. You were singing her praises up until you realized people came out and said on the 11th, but we're going to get to that part because Justin says it. The night before this video, they had done this whole live on Merck's channel and addressed that there was enough money for her to seek legal assistance. She had enough money at that point in time. And conveniently, all of this stuff just starts to fall apart and people start overacting. But wait, if this was the 12th, they had legal representation because these phony balonies here celebrated that they got Letitia an attorney on the night of the 11th. Anybody forget that? Well, wait, you don't have to take my word.
You have gotten an F. The hell out of here. Trying to say, oh, we have no, oh yeah, then if you got these connections, who's your connection? Dr. Dre herself? Really? Get out of here. Everything is her sources. Her sources.
I mean, the thing is, like, we literally got her the attorney last night. We had a live about it. We celebrated about it. And then Scorpio's daughter works there.
Well, I'll be darned. Oh, wait, was that the attorney that you guys raised a shit ton of funds for when you were live that night? And then magically, a couple days later, next day, Letitia says that attorney's too expensive and she opted to not go with that attorney. But you put that information on your community post and yet you're bitching and moaning about other people doxing attorneys. Can we talk about something that makes sense here? Because you had a community post, which I have, that says that they retain teens legal counsel. So you put that out there, didn't care about announcing the attorney's information, but then magically she didn't even go with that attorney. And why would she be hiring an attorney out of Florida? Isn't that where Scorpio is? I mean, she introduced us when you guys were in freaking Florida. So why would that make sense? Anybody put this together? I mean, unless Scorpio's daughter works at the one in Arizona, which absolutely could be, but none of it makes sense. None of this shuffle has ever made sense.
She has started crap on you with the Facebook people. Oh, I don't care about that. And you know, I know this is who she is. And everyone tried to warn us. And we're like, oh, we'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Never again. You will never get a click from me. You will never earn my subscription back. Everything that everyone warned me and Justin of is you just proved it. Because you've heard a lot of people. She's getting sued for calling people and accusing people and businesses pedos.
Isn't it ironic that you're concerned about that with Katie being sued, and you actually yourself said the other night that I am a paid pedoprotector. Do you realize what you just did there, Molly? And
isn't it ironic? Don't you think?
A lot of things. And you want to know something? That bad feeling, I didn't ever tell you something. I know. You know what the bad feeling was? That I couldn't understand and I couldn't shake on Monday? It was her. And I realized it was her. I did realize it her. I just didn't want to say it. But I did say, yo, go look at my new video. Because it's called I Can't Confirm. Look at this, Ikmel. We got to... Ikmel, can you come up here? Because you are a huge YouTuber. Ikmel makes me look like a welfare case. This guy right here does true crime, and he does it in a very classy, humorous way. And I'm a huge fan of him. And I think, and he better take the link, or else I will chop its head off. He's the real deal. And he is against putting out false info. He does it the right way.
We're huge fans.
We are all, everyone loves Ikmel. The 30-minute summary was amazing. Well, Without a Crystal Ball said, you can't do this in 30 minutes or less. You can. And Mallory Williams passed the test. She goes, girl, I took her course.
there's a little snippet of that one. You remember how this all went, right? Everybody remembering now. I mean, some of us don't really forget that easily. Let's go back over here and find you another one. Give me 1 second. So now we are going to go to the 15th. This is from July 15th.
Right now,
other people.
Can I ask you?
There's other people on panel with them, but it is what it is. It's fine. Again, this is all falls under fair use. This is an interesting conversation that I needed to remind people of. This was from July 15th. And I just want you to remember the moving pieces at this time and listen to what you hear.
A question, because I kind of just made a public plea and kind of begged for Drea to just say yes already. And I read the message where you said that you raised the fourth, that you have the 4,000, and that you just everything that you said to me, and that you're willing to sell your stuff. I just freaked out. I was just like, why does it have to be this way? Like, how did it even come to this? I'm willing to take down all of these videos and never bother you again.
Well, it's interesting. You should have never put the videos up to begin with, because according to what we just listened to, Letitia had already been there. Did she see Marvon? Interesting how she's already seen Marvon at this point in time, and you guys are starting this whole entire thing up again. This is just a good refresher course into one of the first conversations, second conversations, third conversations, emotional manipulation, when they kept bringing them on and changing the story. Well, here you go. July 15th is the date on this. And you just heard her say that Letitia had enough money for an attorney at that point in time. And then she kind of like pulls away a little bit from the amount of money.
If you can let this happen, but we don't know if it's even in her power. Do you know if it's in her power to let you go or no?
It's to the point where I don't know anything. I don't know nothing. And it's so scary because, you know, I'm looking online and I'm seeing people say they hearing rumors that she may take my son to Mexico.
No, don't.
We call the hospital. They telling her.
I wonder who started those rumors. I wonder.
I'm feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Just a question. Wonder how all those rumors got started. It's interesting to me that I have posts that say that she called and talked and reported him spitting on her, but you know where that information came from? The internet. It's really funny to me putting all this into play now because they're doing the same thing except lying again. Well, I guess that's what they've been doing all along. But she's even lying about things like seeing her grandson. Why would you lie about that? Why would you lie about being in Arizona already and visiting him? Like, why are you lying about major foundational pieces that should have never mattered if the goal was just to see Marva?
No, he's not here. The lawyer trying to work as fast as she could, but she can't do nothing until the judge even give me a hearing. It's like I'm stuck.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
Just so you guys know, too, lawyers can't do anything until judges sign off and give you a hearing. I mean, in my world, usually lawyers do the paperwork and submit it to the judge, and that's how you get a hearing, and a court date's scheduled when you when you file your paperwork with the court. That would be what an attorney does, but I mean, that was never the intent anyways. But you're saying that a judge has to give you a hearing and then the attorney can do something? I might be dumb, but I wasn't born yesterday, and that shit just does not even make sense, even remotely.
And then I'm trying to stay offline because I don't want, the worst thought is two thoughts that keep going through my head. Okay. If she gets just that upset and call in because she can't go and say, pull the plug, I ain't gonna be able to see my son never again. Number two, like I was listening to Justin, if it's out of her hand and ain't nothing else we can do but wait on the judge to do this, how long he'll take to even say yes or no? So it's kind of hard. It's like you're in a rock and a hard place. But going back to the money, every dime that everybody has given me, I did what I'm supposed to do with it. But just like I said before.
What were you supposed to do with it? Oh, wait. Attorneys, travel. Let's see it. If you did everything that you were supposed to do, why has there been such this blowback of providing receipts? If everything was done correctly, why would you refuse to provide receipts? And by the way, in Veda, you said that you have access to Letitia's full Cash App. So when you're in there, can you please figure out that how she cannot find the button of the transaction history that shows all of these refunds that she gave out? I mean, they should all be right there. It's a button, like 3 buttons you have to click to get the statements. That's it. That's all. You could easily solve this for him. And why would she be giving access to you? Just curious. Wait, because she was hoping that your narrative would catch some weight and people would actually think that you had something believable.
I keep being accused of being a scam artist or stealing, or I'm too quiet, and this, that, and the other. I will sell everything that belongs to me to make sure that this lawyer get what they need to help fight so that I can see my son. I don't know what to do. My family know that I go out the back for my kids. This ain't no different. I'll start from the ground up again if I have to. But I'm not going to keep being talked to all kind of way and make it seem like I'm the worst person in the world, because I'm not. And then in my past, they keep saying my past, but I stole from myself. Because what I did was, yes, I wrote a check, fed my kids, and I had to pay for it. But I didn't go and take nothing from nobody. So keep calling me a scam, and I'm sorry to raise my voice, but I'm getting upset because it's not fair. Only the first post I made was just saying I wanted to see my son, not to be bashed the way I'm being bashed.
I'm sorry.
Not for you to be bashed for taking up for me or speaking out. You and Justin, y'all don't deserve that. And everybody that took up and decided to start the group so that my voice can be a little bit louder, they getting bashed. This is ridiculous. All because I said I want to visit him? Because it may be my last time?
I mean, you're his boss.
Y'all hear that? I thought she had an advocate called Goose. I hear her in the distance. She sounds a little far off. I don't think she found her way back to find these receipts that she promised us back in August. I think Goose kind of flew the coop, even though that's not geese, that's chickens. But can you hear her in the background? I don't know if you can hear her or not. Geese out. You can probably hear Kiki better. I need to get a loud squawker for her. But Goose, where are the receipts? You promised us in August you had them all. Why is it taking so long?
Biological mother, you know, I mean, it's pointless for her to act like this.
It is. It is.
For what, Dre? For what?
Okay, so Justin,
Mm-hmm.
the last text I received said that I needed to make a public apology about something that I know. If you look back on every post, every video I made, I never did anything to hurt Drea. Okay? But if she want me to do that, and in order to see my son, I'm willing, I'm begging me. Please. Please, ma'am. I just want to see my son. That's it. I want my family to say, what if this is our last time saying goodbye? I don't know. I don't even know what kind of condition he in right now.
Context again is important. July 15th is when this video was supposedly going on. And remember, in the earlier video, you just heard that she just came back from there. And now with Dre filling in some of the pieces, I have a lot of questions about that first initial supposed trip. I have a lot of questions because Dre talks about she was piecing together a few things, the whole dementia thing. Like there's so many questions. Even the things that we did think Letitia was telling the truth on, like things that shouldn't matter to the big picture. The great-grandmother having dementia, it's none of our business. But they brought that out here. Her seeing her grandson before, none of our business. She used that as emotional manipulation. And now Dre's saying they had met. Like all of this, none of it makes sense. July 15th. Unfortunately, the incident happened May 23rd, 2022. And isn't it ironic? Oh, hold on. Why did I just say that? I could have just played that. That I think it's the day after this or later this night that they magically take off for Arizona.
And isn't it ironic? Don't you think?
I mean, I don't know about you, but
I'm on begging you, Andrea McCray. If I did anything to hurt you, I apologize. But all I want to do is see my son. That's it. Yes, if I run out here and act like a fool, then they'll say, oh, she should have did it in this way or that way. There's no win. It's no win. I try to do it the legal way. No win. I go out here and act a plumb fool. Then I'm like what she said I was in the video. I'm violent. I'm this, I'm that. I'm nowhere near that.
You have done nothing but act with class the entire time, ma'am.
Seems like everybody's got a price. I wonder how they sleep at night.
Just class. That's the only thing you have done. Because to be honest with you, I don't know if I could have had your restraint. So you have done nothing but been a class act the entire time.
I'm so tired.
Amen.
You
I'm
know,
exhausted. I'm not sleeping. I'm not eating.
Oh, the one up in the corner making this all about her and her crybaby act is I want to through the screen. I tell you what, it is. Look at her putting the tears on for her audience, looking into the camera. Oh my goodness, this is just. Sorry, you guys, I got to play with my buttons extra special because EKC loves them so much. She actually said, if you want to do anything successful with your channel, oh my God, that's so pathetic. And she was embarrassed for me. I love my fucking buttons. Leave them alone. Maybe if you did something more fun and exciting, maybe after all these years, you wouldn't have gotten bypassed by my channel. I mean, hey, that's on you, but leave my buttons alone. I like them.
I'm trying to go to work to clear my head. But imagine me just every day trying to figure out what's going on with him. Okay? I mean, I don't know. I'm not like other people that can walk around here like something not wrong.
Where we're going.
I'm sorry that I wear my feelings on my shoulder, but this
no,
is
don't be sorry for nothing. Don't be sorry for nothing. You have nothing to be sorry for. And this is the thing, Dre. I know you're watching. I know you're watching. And all she wants to do is see.
Scorpio, did you miss it? I made a button just for her. Hold on, I'll play it one more time. Because this is my clip channel if you don't
Blah,
know.
blah, blah sucks.
I clipped Everything Go Lightly because she does not like Everything Go Lightly, and she was trying to credit me and like accuse me of stuff with Everything Go Lightly's channel. And Everything Go Lightly did a video this morning, and it is hysterical. That's where that came from. I've got to have some laughter through this, you guys. This has been some of the heaviest shit I've ever seen in my life. And it's absolutely disgusting when you dive into it and you realize, like, I'm a very emotional person, as you guys know that. And I wear my heart on my sleeve. And this is really, really disgusting to realize how far people are willing to go and exploit their own family for money. Like, in the extent of the lies that they've gone to, it's very, very emotionally draining when you realize, like, you can't wrap your head around a lot of it. And I've got to have some fun and laughter. And that's why the buttons are fun to me. I know that some of you guys are like, hey, it's how I get through it. And some of the rest of you appreciate it too, because you've been here all along.
Her son, he was planning on going out there to see the family.
Think back to that interview that Molly did with Marvon Sr. when they're standing in the front yard in Georgia. Remember that? You just heard Justin say that they bought an RV because they were planning on going out there, right? That was July 15th when they acknowledged that they had bought an RV because they were planning on traveling. That was a whole family thing, which, you know, they'll put pieces of it together. But in that interview, it's funny. Molly's sitting right next to him, right here. Same stream, everything, you know. But in that interview, she was like, oh my God, I didn't know that. We just found that out right now. That is like groundbreaking, earth-shaking news. That was in November. This was July. Nothing changed. We've been trying to tell you that.
In Georgia. Let him see them in his life.
I'll answer those questions to the best of my ability. Hope he, as far as my knowledge, has been his adoptive mother is his actual biological it was his great-grandfather and great-grandmother that adopted him. He took his great-grandfather's name, which is why he's got the McCrae last name. So he was adopted really young. The grandfather passed away, but the great-grandmother is still alive. Letitia told us in the previous video that the great-grandmother, her grandmother, had dementia. Well, come to find out, Dre, when she came back, said, no, that's not true. So she is alive. I don't know the extent of what their communication is, her involvement in any of this. I know they were very close. She didn't want the public attention on her, to my understanding, and asked to be left out of it. She has never spoken out publicly. No. I'm sure she keeps in contact, and Dre keeps that relationship between them because that's a very special relationship for all of them, in my understanding.
Last and final hours. There is no redo in this. Make the right decision if you can. Now.
My baby is 29 years.
He's a baby. He's young. He's still a kid. You know, I mean, he's a man, but he's still young, you know. And he was full of life, absolute life.
And I know God, and I can't say that God is not answering my prayers, because he is. And you know, we try to say he ain't moving fast enough, so this ain't going fast enough. And I ask God to let his will be done. And I see the wheels are turning. But until he touch whoever heart that needs to be touched.
And I just have to say this too. I don't know about y'all, and everybody has their different beliefs, but this is pure emotional manipulation by using religion once again. And this is the type of people that makes me stay away from religion. This is right here why I cannot stand people like this that turn it on and off when it's convenient for them. Either walk in that walk and you can cuss and be a Christian and yes, all of that stuff, but you don't turn it on when it's convenient and you want people to fall for your bullshit. And that's where I have a problem. And they all have been doing that with religion throughout this entire story.
It's going to be a constant battle. It's like, and oh my God, Andrea, I am so sorry. Please, and if it's out of your control, call me or text me and say, Letitia, that it's out of my control now. Then I will understand and I will be able to do what I need to do to
just
get
some
the
communication
representation that I need as far as to go another route. But
another thing that's really ironic about this one, I have screenshots and the comment section was attached before I cropped it into this video. Guess who was in the comment section saying that she doesn't need to sell anything? I'll pay for an attorney. Erica. Guess who was also in the comment section saying they just need to give her mom a shot? Amber. Like all of these people were involved on that side of things. For a long time, they pushed that narrative and helped spin that narrative. That's where that piece of my dislike comes from, all of them, because they initially were all involved in helping this, you know, story get spread and kicked off on all sorts of platforms. And right here, you can see there's so many errors that were made, so much misinformation intentionally given out.
I'm paying for a lawyer for visitation. Then this rumor about this Mexico thing is really eating me alive because I don't know what happens if somebody leaves the country.
Trying to convey urgency to your following, therefore, that, you know, we're on a time crunch here. Open your wallets. We don't got time to sit around and wait. She might take him out of the country. I might not ever see him again, you know, even though that would be almost impossible to do very fast like that, like they say, unless you like took him out in a van and like drove across, like some horrible thing. But it would have to take medical transport. It would take doctors facilitating the transport, accepting the transport. Like it would be a whole freaking process, if Dre wanted to move out of the country and take Marv on. It would be a whole process, but they're acting and using it like, oh, urgency, open up those wallets.
Truthfully, I wouldn't worry about that, to be honest with you. That is so unlikely because, I mean, he would have to. I mean, he would still even have to have a passport.
It's not happening. I think that rumors. No.
Yeah, don't
No.
even worry about that.
Don't give it that many lives. That's never gonna happen.
Yeah, that should be honestly the last thing you're worrying about, in my opinion, ma'am. That don't worry about that part. Promise.
I'm so sorry.
But can I just include at this point in time with seeing with what I did, I wouldn't have blamed her one bit. I wouldn't blame her one bit. I can tell you what, I am sick of dealing with these people. I cannot even imagine. I cannot even imagine the level of disgust and the level of depravity throughout this whole entire thing that is so evident with these people is disgusting. And they're okay with it. They're okay with it.
Tisha, I've been covering this case too. Can you guys hear me?
It's hurt. It hurt. It really do. Because it hurt that the people that are trying to help me, it's like I've drug you guys into my life. And what I've went through for the past 7 years. What my family have went through for the past 7 years. Now you are getting a taste of what we went through. And that's why I keep apologizing to people, because it wasn't supposed to be like this.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead and talk.
She reached out to you. Didn't she reach out to her before, though?
Going on with your child. That hurt.
Explain to her who's talking, Marissa.
Letitia, we have a friend of ours, Tia, and she's also doing a story on what's happening to your son. And she's on the panel right now, and she wants to say something to you. Go ahead, Tia.
Hey, Miss Tia.
Oh,
Hi, Letitia. I want you to know I'm praying for you hard. And I also wanted to ask, didn't she reach out to you before? I seen it in the
reach out was when, after we found out online, I reached out to her.
And you haven't heard from her since then?
Well, okay, after we, the no, and I made the public notice about, being told no, after I basically begged for a visit.
Yeah.
And then the story started growing, and then I received the text about a week or two ago.
Speaking of text, I'm going to just go ahead and do this right now. I'm going to show you guys these. Hold on. I'm just sitting here. I just have my camera off so you guys can see what we're doing. Okay, so I'm going to read you guys some text messages. Again, they're not dated, but these were the text messages that were posted publicly in the group Justice for Vaughn. Again, probably highly edited. And these were not dated. They were posted on July 8th. Okay, so these were posted on July 8th. It says, update, there have been some comments floating around that Dre said mom can see Vaughn. While that's true, it's not that simple. With a narcissist, it's never that simple. These are the texts between Dre and Letitia being blackmailed to see her own child. His mother is being doubted and always came with proof. Ooh, I'm going to hell for repeating all these lies. She's always been transparent with us from the beginning. She will continue her fight to get a lawyer to see her son and will not be backed in a corner by Dre McGrave. So that's the post. Now, let me show you the messages. So again, this is the message so you guys can read it if you would like to without me. It says, in an effort to reduce any danger you've put me or my family in, I'm reaching out to offer you the opportunity to see Marvon. I've always offered to communicate with you should you reach out and inquire about my husband, and that offer still stands. The response that's posted, these are just what's posted. Hi, Dre. Thanks for reaching out to me. Your family's safety is very important to me, and I would never do anything to jeopardize that. I would love to see my son. I would love to put any differences aside and move forward and put what's more important at the forefront. Marvon. Please, I pray this message is real and will make arrangements as soon as I can confirm I will be allowed to see him, as I have attempted to see him once and would have to make arrangements for travel and stay. Please let me know what I can do to take the next step in seeing him. Thank you. Okay, there's the next one, just so we're clear. Again, this wasn't written by Letitia. You can see that. She had a ghostwriter. The admins for the group were helping her write these messages in response to Dre. So important, but she couldn't even respond on her own or have her family help her. Anyway, here's the next one. It says, I'll show it first so you guys know. There you go. You're welcome. I've always encouraged communication between us. Marvon is no longer in such a critical state as he was in the last time we spoke. He has been improving every single day and is less at risk receiving visitors. Although I appreciate you saying you wish no harm on my family, your deliberate actions have shown otherwise. I do not agree to the extent you've exposed such personal and private information about my husband. You can only imagine the horrific demeanor in which I saw him. Being blamed for his doing has only increased what a nightmare it was to see him in that state. Why I shield this from the public. Again, there's the message so you can see it yourself. Tony reposted that. And you can see at the top, that's what it says. And in the fourth, this is the continued on. It says, I do not agree, blah, blah, blah. You expose such personal, private information about my husband. You can only imagine the horrific demeanor in which I saw him. Being blamed for his doing has only increased what a nightmare it was to see him in the state, which is why I shield this from the public. I welcome you with open arms if you can agree to make a public statement outlining what we are in communication to arrange visitation, and that all the threats and harassment towards me, my children, my family, my friends, and my close associates need to cease. With that being done, again, we can move forward into working together. Also, I have never obtained any sort of restraining order against you, Letitia. I'm looking forward to your reply. Okay. Once again, for those in the back. Okay. I think that's the right ones. Let me check. Perfect. Gotcha. Okay. Nunya was I was asking Nunya, I was like, she said, can you show those messages? They line up with this. And I was like, yeah, hold on. And I'm like, which ones? So I went and shot her one of the ones and I was like, this one. And she's like, yeah, this is why we work together, because they know exactly where things line up to. Like thank you, Nunya and Amethyst. They keep me on track. Let's get back into this.
Stating that, basically she kept open communication, but that was not true. And then I said, I would never put the family. I responded, and then the last text that I received about me making a public apology because I put her family in danger when I never said two words about any of that.
Ian, I saw your comment about you guys already know soon. Yes, a falling out is coming. They've been throwing shade for quite some time since they returned from Georgia. Actually, the shade's been thrown. We are doing a timeline currently that outlines that, and it'll probably lead us right into their fallout. And as far as your other part of this, why we not talk about Flava, who goes real life on people. Flava was actually on my panel Saturday. If you missed that live, you can go check that out. She actually came up. I talked to her about some stuff, confronted her on some lies that were being said, things of that nature. So if you have questions about that, you can go watch that. Otherwise, we're just talking about the topic at hand here. But I see your comment, but I just wanted to let you know that she did come in here and we did talk about some of that stuff.
I just spoke my truth. And she was upset about me posting something that was public knowledge anyway. And that's the last thing I heard.
Right. I remember seeing those when she reached out to you in the group chat. And I was just wondering if that's the last time you heard from her.
Yes.
Okay. So no mother should have to go through this.
If you try to take, how you try to text someone and it say unsent.
Right.
Like if someone block you on the phone and you try to text them and it say unsent or you can't send it or something.
Yeah. She blocked you? Oh my. I'm sorry that no mother should have to go through this. No mother.
I'm just tired of crying, I just want to smile for, even if it's just 30 minutes, just smile for 30 minutes, that's all. If I could just smile for 30 minutes. This has been the longest. I think someone told me on that.
Just another troll. Although I agree with part of what you're saying on that comment, I do have to correct you because it's misinformation. And please don't get upset that I am going to put this out there, but this did not start with Katie. No matter how many ways you try to twist it around, that is not accurate. This started with Letitia and Dre and coming to social media. Dre came to social media to explain what was going on to her subs. Letitia obviously decided to take her hand, do it a different direction. Letitia actively got in contact with those admins and they all made those groups. They were a very big part of that. Katie and Molly, Justin were not involved in that part. This was all going before. As soon as Dre came out and spoke about it, then the family, it all fell into line. But not in any way, shape, or form were Katie or Molly, Justin, Elle in the very beginning pieces of this. So again, you might not like Katie. She absolutely did the same thing as these guys did. They were all wrong on their information that they put out there. They did terrible things. It just didn't start there though. And the difference is, again, she walked away. They've continued on. She was being fed this narrative and thankfully saw red flags with it and didn't go along with it. It would have never worked. There were too many personalities that want control in one situation, in my opinion.
18th, it'll be 6 weeks exactly. Now you got to subtract the 2 weeks that me and my family didn't know about it.
Right.
So I mean, this is it's long and it hurt.
I couldn't even imagine. And there's so many things that you want to say. There's so many things, like I want to say so much, but I'm not going to. Because obviously they wouldn't be nice things about her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And this wasn't information that I put out. This was stuff already online.
Absolutely.
Get this stuff out there about her. It was already right there. This is what I don't understand, though. I know a lot of people were, really opening their eyes in the past couple of weeks. But I just don't, like, as a mother, just say if that was my son doing her daughter like that, doing, Drea like that, I would be on him like, you wrong. This is not how you do things.
Right.
As a mother, you just have to step in sometime and discipline your kids. And I know they're grown, but at least to tell them when they're right and wrong. But when you don't say anything at all, they're going to continuously keep doing what they're doing.
Huh? I'm so confused by all of that. I'm seeing your comments in the comment section. You're good. You're allowed to think anything. I just wanted to let you know that she did come up. We accomplished what little piece over here. There's a lot of moving pieces on the outside of this that are so confusing to me still, that do not make sense in this whole thing. But no, you're great. I appreciate you asking about other things, because there has been many layers to this and it's not just as straightforward as people think. And I appreciate you seeing that. And somebody else said something. Can't everyone have respect enough for Marvon to just stop? It's the same verbiage from all sides every single day. No one is changing. No one is telling the truth. This is crazy. Just another troll. While I respect that you think that that would happen, that's not going to happen. That would be ideal. It would be ideal. We could stop talking about it. In fact, we've tried that. They said that they were done talking about it months ago. We've tried that. We've gone here. People deserve to continue to know what these people are like. And not only have they done it in Marvon's story, but they've done it in past stories too. This isn't a one-time around thing. And that's why I am trying to pivot out of the details of this. But when people that, you know, some people associate with like to continually lie and say that I said things or I'm the one that started this or that, I will always come back with the receipts because they've already been out here. But you will not continue to lie on me and say that I've said things when I haven't. I'm sorry the history lesson seems redundant to you. Thankfully, there's a million YouTube channels that you can shut this off. I encourage anybody that's done with it, do shut it off. It's a lot for anybody's mental health to take. I respectfully understand what you're saying. I wish it was possible. I really do.
And you never went public. She's the one who started talking public first, not you.
Right.
So
it goes back to that level of trying to do more good than harm. So the only things that we can control are the things that we can continue to do. Continuing to tell the truth, continuing to put the correct information out is dignity for Vaughn, in my opinion, because at the end of the day, this was created in the justice for Vaughn, right? But at the end of the day, this is more dignity because his story has been lied on and twisted and turned and exploited to the depths of hell and back. It is so disgusting. But again, this isn't just a one situation. This is many situations, and people need to see it. They need to be able to understand that this is a well-oiled exploitation machine that just keeps rolling. And if we stop talking about it, they're just going to continue on. What comes from that? We've got to maneuver smarter and we can be better in ways, but it doesn't, nothing changes if everybody shuts up about what they're doing too.
I didn't know nothing about social media like this. You know, I got my little Facebook page that I scroll on, and every now and again I make a post if it's a birthday or, you know, something going on with my kids or grandkids. But I didn't know too much about social media, and I used to like to watch TikTok because the videos were funny. But
didn't know much about social media, but aligned herself with a group. Two groups were created out of that one initial group from a Reddit thread. Who it was one of the kids that was on there, I think one of the brothers of Marvon's, and then, you know, that got aligned to these groups. And seems you've navigated social media pretty well for not having any knowledge of social media. I mean, I've seen you live on YouTube, Facebook. Yeah, I mean, you seem to navigate pretty well. Yes, Carissa, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I want to pivot out of this. Like, but they continue to like, oh, here's your big expose. Like this, we expose nonsense and all of our lies. Well, these aren't my lies. These are lies that Letitia and co told. And that's the embarrassing part for you guys, but they don't want to talk about that.
that's it.
right.
Well, I just want to tell you guys, thank you, Molly. Just like I said, keep fighting, keep doing what you're doing. I'm sorry that you guys are having to go through this, but just don't give up.
Come on.
Because
we're not.
if you don't give up, I can't give up, and that keep us going, right?
Right.
That's right, girl. That's right. This isn't our first rodeo.
Yeah.
It's not.
Another thing I want to note for everybody at this point in time. So by this point in time, Letitia, had told people she was working with that she had secured $14,000 by this date. By this date here, July 15th, she had $14,000 already. So she could have secured an attorney for all of this paperwork, right? She had plenty of funds for trips, everything. Well, she had already made a trip. So she's encouraging them to continue. And you wonder why she got rid of the first advocates. You wonder why it's been one advocate after another, because one helps her with the next stage of the grift. Just like, Invada said that they would, if they donated, they would instantly get a web receipt for their donation 2 nights ago when they reamped this all back up. Invada, how is that possible that all these people get a web receipt when they're donating through Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, the third-party apps that there's no... And why was there not a goal amount and then or told how much of that goal was reached? And what do you expect them to do with these said web receipts anyways? It's not like they're going to get refunds. Not a single person to this point in time has been refunded on this, except for Katie, and that's a whole GoFundMe thing, completely separate from anything else that was discussed.
Blah, blah, blah sucks.
I just had to remind you that I got a button. She's going to piss and moan about this tonight, too. She'll be, oh, my God, did you see nonsense? She's so immature. She's ruining her channel with those buttons. Oh, my God, she's so terrible. That's exactly why I'm doing it. You're welcome.
You guys are very strong. You guys are very strong. I'm serious, you are. You got this very tough skin.
Yeah.
I thought I was a tough person until I ran across this right here.
Yeah, social media can be brutal. But you know something, Miss Letitia, don't believe anything that they say, because first of all, they don't know you. They don't know your past, and it's frankly none of anyone's business. You're just there to want to see your son. That's it. And if we believe them with the negative things that they say, then they win. I have never watched one single hate video on me. Ever. Not one. So, just God knows your heart. God knows your intentions, and that's the main thing.
Mofo, you just lied flat out and then brought God into it. You just sat there and flat out lied. I don't watch any hate videos on me. Even I've watched a hate video on me. One. That's how I learned my lesson. But it wasn't even a good hate video on me. I just can't handle people lying. I can't handle liars. And that's a trigger, even if it's not about me. I just can't handle it. But you sit in the comments every day, Spanky. By the way, can y'all please help me get that to catch other places? Will you please encourage people to call him Spanky? They're doing it in their comment section of Molly's, and Molly actually called him that the other day, and he got so offended. So if we could get that to catch on, because he really doesn't like it now that it's catching on with all the creators and people just realize that that's who we're talking about. He don't like it anymore. So if you could encourage people to refer to him as Spanky, that would be wonderful. Thank you. That's the one request I do have. Oh, by the way, we need a break.
Seems like everybody's got a price. I wonder how they sleep at night.
Seems to me they sleep just fine. Where's the money? Where's the money? Where's the money? I bet you guys were singing that "Mo Money, Mo Problems" when the money was coming in, but now it's the no money, lots of problems.
Thank you. I see that the new trend is Marvon, open your eyes.
Yeah.
Baby, please open your eyes. Because you're the only one that's going to be able to tell the story.
Amen.
So thank you guys. I'm gonna keep watching live. You know, I like to sit in the background and every now and again I comment, but thank you so much.
Thank you, Mrs. Bishop.
It was nice meeting you.
We're gonna figure something out, and we're gonna be up here. And we're gonna figure something out. We're gonna put our heads together, and anyone. I think that anyone that is covering this case with his name in it, I expect you to make a donation to the GoFundMe and show proof for this lawyer, or else cease using his name.
Oh, can I say one thing
Yes.
about the lawyer? You know, it was several people asking, can I speak with her about setting up a special fund?
Mm-hmm.
She said she would look into it, but she said sometimes it gets a little aggravating, but she would look into it. So it's not a no, but I would, whenever she contact me back again, because she said she's going to be working on this weekend also. So I would reach out again and see if she was able to set something up and then give you guys the information if you don't want to donate to the GoFundMe or the Cash App.
Dates are important. Remember, this was July 15th. Anybody remember the evening post of July 15th that they were just giving up? They were going over there over come hell or high water. They were getting in their car. They couldn't take it anymore. Interestingly enough, you hear that there was some sort of, when you go back and listen to it now, you can understand that there was definitely communication with an attorney and there was already an agreement in place, because magically later on in the day, they head to Arizona, right? That's what we're told, at least. And they were able to get there and somehow make this agreement around the 20th. Isn't that all too coincidental? The things you hear every time I listen to something again, I pick up a different piece every time, but it's all a bunch of it.
And isn't it ironic? Don't you think?
That's the song. And if you don't understand why that's here, I used to use a voice changer when I was anonymous, and I used to sing that song all the time for everything. I would sing random things with a voice changer, and it was hysterical to me. I crack myself up at times. Okay, I can't help it. I just am a really big nerd, and so I do the dumbest things, but I have fun in it. That song has been like the running theme throughout this entire thing, and it's something that my comment section sings now. They sing it other places. Like, it's the theme of this.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. Thank you, Letitia.
All right. You guys have a good night.
You too, hon. Thank
You too.
All right, that's all I wanted to share with you of those, because there were some things said again. They said that something about the dementia thing, and they were like, that was from Mrs. Doubtfire's channel. And I was like, actually, that clip is right here. Again, most of these videos I think are still up on Justin's channel. Molly has removed some of them. She's put some of them back up. She's retitled them, put new thumbnails on a few of them. It's pretty interesting to watch them move around. But I think that's what I wanted to post or point out there. Does anybody have any questions before we end this one? I'm going to leave this one as it is, because I'm going to move on to back into the timeline. Does anybody have questions about that time frame? Because there's a lot of questions I have there. A lot of questions I have with that timeline. Sorry, I'm watching the comments in two different sections. I'm realizing that some of the comments, like on StreamYard, they pop in a whole page at a time. And on my phone, they kind of go slower a little bit. I have a delay on my phone. Kara, I was reading your comments throughout this too, and I agree with you 100%. This should have never been brought to social media. It was a private matter that should have stayed private. There's things that I unfortunately have even talked about over here that have been uncomfortable, but the only reason why I've done, well, there's some things I won't talk about, and I've refrained from doing it because it's not my place and it's disgusting. Like the body cam footage and the 911 call. See, I knew that lash was coming off. I gotta go fix it. Anyways, it's been uncomfortable and it's horrible. Like, why would you put this information out there about your own son? I agree with you 100%. Thank you, Nevada Gal. I got it. Hold on. Oh, I don't ever use this mirror unless I'm in here. Yeah, AJ, absolutely. T. Kelly, so which time? That's the problem. Is there has been posts 3 different times. There was posts at the end of June. There was posts in the beginning of July and the middle of July. The middle of July is when they did the biggest show and acted like the agreement was signed and everything like that. So that would have been around the 21st of July, to my understanding. I think that's the one I would say most likely. Yeah, I don't know. Those we don't know. We have really no idea. We're finding out that even some of the things that we thought were the truth were lies. Yeah, senior was they left the 18th of Georgia. They left Georgia the 18th, Father's Day. And then they got back the 26th, 28th, something like that to Georgia. Marcy. Possibility, maybe, unlikely. I think her and Veda's, she's an opportunist. She saw an opportunity to grow a page. And I wanted nothing to do with the extreme KJers, and she's kind of buddied up to them. So it was a good opportunity and a good angle because her obsession with me is pretty clear. I mean, we've seen it in all of the messages recently that she's sent everybody about me and my supposed stalking of her, even though I don't know who she is. I think she was just looking for an angle to exploit, and this was the most convenient or the most controversial, or she thought she would bank some sort of accolades for bringing me down. Like she was going to be the one to bring my channel down. I think that's why she came into it, to be honest. She's an opportunist. She was talking about her channel, and now she's a YouTuber, and it's weird. They got her to 500 subs and the whole thing's weird. Yeah, there's a lot. Supposedly a self-proclaimed detective. She is supposedly traveling, if I'm correct. Yeah, Carol, wrong decision too. She, I mean, hey, whatever. But if you're going to shoot your credibility in their foot, she'll get somewhere. She'll get Molly's little stands that put up with her that are tolerant of that, which is not very many. But even the ones won't really pay attention because she doesn't know enough of the story. She can't fill in pieces. She boldly stated on Molly's panel, stupid for Molly to let her do it too, that I had an extremely big record. So it's not slander if it's true, right? They also said that I am paid to protect pedophiles. It's not slander if it would be true. Not a single bit of that's true, let alone that's inciting violence and inciting people to believe that in some way, shape, or form, I am paid to protect people who harm children, which is completely the opposite of anything even remotely true. But those aren't things you can really do. You know, they bitch and moan about, you can't slander, that's defamation, blah, 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 blah. You know, you hear all that all the day long as they continue to do it. Well, she said that I have a longer record than Letitia Bias. That's what Veda said. And Veda said, I have a longer record than Letitia Bias. And she said that Letitia Bias and Marvon Sr. do not have records. Or very much. Yeah, Hope. And that's the interesting part. Oh, be kind of I got a song for that, Be Kinda. I just put one in here the other day because this sounded just like Inspectors to me. I don't know why. And I don't know why. It's actually, the song's called Inspector Heck. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm not encouraging anybody to go real life, but again, I speak for me and me only. Like, I would never encourage anybody to do anything real life. I don't know what I missed, but that's the Inspector Gadget song. They're all coming to get me. She exposed me, Be Kinda, so bad. And then I was like, you guys want to see? I was so excited because I kept it like a trophy. The one fucking infraction citation I was ever issued. I have it. Like the original written, the one with the stupid dismissal. People are like, you're nuts. And I'm like, no, it was like, thought I was cool for a minute. It's ridiculous. Yeah, Kara, absolutely. And that's the hard part. And I think about that every day. I'm like, what if I would have never said anything? Yeah, there was other people starting to see, and speak up. But what if we would have never followed it like this? Oh, Zoya, good one. Yeah, Yinzi, it kind of does, huh? Yeah. Oh, you guys want to hear another one I got? Hold on. I got to fix that lash. Okay. This one is called We Ride. This one's called Toad Name. Amethyst, this one's for you. It says, If I Had a Chicken. I had to. All right, y'all. I'm out of here on this one. I'm going to go take a break for a little bit. I'll be back. I'll probably be back at 12:30 for the next part of pattern. I think we're on part 6. We're on part 6. I'm going to eat something really quick too, actually. I'm going to eat. I'll probably be back at 1. I'll be back at 1. Give me an hour. I'm going to take a lunch break, make some phone calls. I've already cleaned my house. Dinner's already figured out. We're having stir fry with rice, chicken stir fry. Laundry's already being done. I've already had a productive morning. Molly, have you showered yet today? Just curious. All right, y'all. With that, my smart ass is out. Oh, I hit you a few buttons before we go, though. I didn't even play you guys this one today. Okay, hold on. Baby, 'cause I'm a thug. Baby, 'cause I'm a thug. T. Kelly, I need to collab with you. I need to figure out. I would love to collab with you, actually. I just need to find time to be able to do it. Good night, y'all. That I won't see you later. Thank you guys for being here today with me. Again, I'm reading the comments over there. Okay, one more time, and I am out. Good day. I'll see you guys in an hour.
How do I say goodbye? Glad you came. Closing time.